You're an inexperienced 17-year-old high school student and you don't want to keep depending on your friends for free food? Well, I've got you covered. Introducing part-time job. There is a list of starter jobs for you to choose from an event crew to a barista to a bar opener. You don't necessarily have to take the job I just mentioned, but you are still welcome to select from all types of part-time jobs. Just don't be a waiter. It's the worst. Your job as a waiter is to serve food and drinks, clean up tables, and take customers' orders. Sounds simple, right? Yes, you can even get free food, but with the cost of losing your sanity in the process. As a professional waiter myself who has worked for multiple restaurants for over 2 years, I will give you millions of reasons to not work as a waiter. The job title itself is self-explanatory, cause you will be waiting for minimum wage for busting your ass for a company who doesn't even care about you. Look, imagine working for 8 ringgit an hour for almost 10 hours a day. That don't seem fair to me. You can already picture how low I was getting. And if you want to convert it to the US dollar, I'm not even getting $2 from the job. And what about tipping, you may ask? You actually think the tips are for those hard-working employees who serve you food that you should already be paying? Think again. Would the boss give up a fraction of money in a money-making business to show appreciation to their loyal workers? Hell no. Cause most of them are greedy bastards. How could I make a video talking about waiter without mentioning the most painful act caused by humanity? Customers. You see, when you're working as an underpaid waiter, you will have to serve a lot of rich customers that look like they get paid 100k a year. No, they don't wash their hands before picking up a set of sanitized cutleries, but they rarely finish the food they ordered, and every time I collect their dishes, I'll have to swipe the food waste into the bin, risking my hands getting infected. I feel guilty for wasting so much food even though I'm not the consumer. Just look at what you've done. It's a perfectly well-made dish and you just ruin it by eating only half of it. One even took a fucking bite and called it a lunch. That's not even the worst case. Ever try taking out the trash and the juice drip onto your hand and now you have to chop it off with a parang? That's how I feel whenever my hands got hit by them nasty ass liquid. Can I get a plate of chicken rice but without the chicken? So a plate of rice. No, not really. But a plate of chicken rice without the chicken. So just one plain rice lah. No. A plate of chicken rice with no chicken. What the fuck do you want? It's just rice if there is no fucking chicken. He then angrily left the store and I was happy cause I had one less customer to serve. Some customers just like to embarrass themselves by ordering shit that don't exist on the menu. To make things worse, they don't acknowledge that they are being dickheads and keep on arguing. You know what I actually think about this type of customers? I think they are illiterate retards lah. Matter of fact, they are illiterate retards who look like children of 2 cousins from the same family tree. Rude customers. Can't leave that out. They are the devil's little creation that corrupts all restaurants' wives. Not even my 10 fingers and 10 toes can count out the customers who are either grumpy or unethical or annoying. Customers be complaining about food and drinks and I couldn't do anything. Cause I'm not the one who made the food and drinks. Why should I be taking the criticisms when the kitchen accidentally added in another pinch of salt? That ain't fair, man. Can you send my feedback to the manager? Okay, madam. Cause I don't give a shit. It's none of my business. I mean literally. Don't get me wrong though. If there are major complaints that should be noticed, I will certainly send the feedback to my manager. But no way I'm telling my manager about the food not being hot enough to give your tongue a 3rd-degree burn. That's just stupid like kepala bapak kau. Customers like this, mostly Karens, have nothing else to do other than leaving their house just so they could pick on the most trivial mishap the moment they take a seat. You know what I've realized? Most of the customers who couldn't keep their mouths shut were mostly Chinese. When things don't go in their way, they will confirm open their mouths and start speaking gibberish in a sense that I think that they are retarded. They always got something to say. I once served a fat ass Jenna customer who was a mama's boy. Apparently her mom didn't like eating drumsticks. Keyword. Didn't like. Not allergic. And the kitchen cooked her rendang drumstick and I served the plate to the table. Gorlok the destroyer then told us his spawn point didn't like drumsticks and asked why we didn't serve her chicken thigh. Bitch, he didn't even mention to us that his mom didn't like drumsticks. He could have requested for a thigh in the first place and he didn't. What did he want us to do? Read his mind and go through all the possible ways to change his diaper telepathically? He even had a daughter beside him. Anyways, so he requested to change the chicken, but by right we couldn't do that because it was already cooked and served to them, and I gave him the reply politely. My colleague overheard the conversation and gave him the same reply in a nonchalant manner. He went berserk and shouted back at my boy, accusing him for being unprofessional and rude. My boy was standing on his business and he didn't back down just so he could defend me until I pulled him to the side. What a man. His mom had to calm him down and didn't want him to cause any trouble, so she didn't mind eating the drumstick. Listen to your mama, man, baby. Few weeks later, I had all my reasons to quit the job and I was having my time working my last day until a family of 4 came in after we had last called all the items on the menu. We politely rejected their entry and the mom then said, "What are we supposed to eat then?" Oh my fucking god. They had satay and sushi in their palms and they had the audacity to fucking ask the question. Eat shit lah, jibai. There was an Indian family before them and they recognized that we were closing and they left. But when it came to the Chinese family, they thought they had the right to walk into a closing store that had already said that they were closing. My supervisor pushed out and let them in. I don't understand lah. I really don't. They even opened the satay and sushi and ate them before our eyes. The mom tried ordering food that was sold out and complained why the food was sold out. Do these type of people have fucking brains? Of course they were sold out, cause we already told them that we were closing and they didn't want to listen. The food they ordered turned out not as expected. I clocked out and was walking out the store and the mom, again, it was always the mom, stopped me and scolded me for messing up her order. It was my last day. It was my last day. Bitch, were you blind? Do I look like a fat Malay girl with tudung over my head who took your damn order? How blind could you be to mistaken me, a Chinese boy who speaks Mandarin, with a Malay girl who didn't know how to speak Mandarin? Were you locked in a hot car when you were a kid and got brain damage from it? Your daughter looked and sounded just like you, a who wants everything to be perfect. I can't do this anymore lah. Seriously. So I walked out and flipped the store off and left. I didn't crash out in front of her cause I haven't got my paycheck yet. If I had, she would be dancing with Michael Jackson now. Of course they are good customers. They are like that one ice cream man riding his motor outside your house on a hot day. They are like that light when you're in a tunnel. They are the oasis in the desert. They can make your day with one simple yet powerful gesture. And that is by being polite. Some might even strike a friendly conversation with you and man, it feels good to be treated like a human. It's just that simple. The other type of customers is families. I'm not talking about a healthy family of 4. They are okay. I'm talking about a family of 4 with 2 parents and 2 toddlers. The parents are not the problem. The kids are. Whenever I see a family bringing their babies into the restaurant, I'll take 5 shots of aspirin and Panadol cause cleaning up those tables will always be a pain in the ass. Baby are as menacing as Karens cause they cry and scream for no rhyme or reason at all. When bro gets hired for a job and he really needs to do the job. Well yeah, it's kinda my problem. But could y'all please give me an easy job to clean up? It's as nasty as a grandma's armpit hair. I mean that was my job scope. I couldn't really complain. Moving on to co-workers. Now they are the only ones that you should focus more on. The teamwork, the relationship, as well as the communication between you and your co-workers are important. They play a huge part of your day because you get to talk to them and make time pass fast. You also get to hear some greater stories from them, especially that 48-year-old chef back in the kitchen. Their laws are as interesting as Journey to the West. The other ones are your superiors, such as your supervisor and manager. I want to emphasize more on the manager. You don't want to fuck with him. He can either be the chillest person in the world or the shittiest pile of dirt you have ever seen. So shitty that the customer can be evidently wrong and he will still blame the problem on you. If you manage to piss them off, regardless if they are chill or evil, you're fucked. Not even praying can save you cause God ain't dealing with that shit. He can make you do the worst tasks like cleaning the hidden longkang even though it's not your job, and he can still get away with it. Or even worse, he's gonna dilly-dally with your paycheck. If you keep a good relationship with the manager, you're in for a treat. He will buy drinks like chaji or boba tea for the team. And even better, he might even release you early from that damnation if you have a really good performance. And your boss? Just work as if your life is at stake if he ever comes in. Oh yeah, and also those lazy ass co-workers. They will shove every work up into your ass and stand beside the counter looking at you running around the restaurant while checking if their nails are perfectly trimmed. Even when they really start doing their job, they will move slower than a government hospital's waiting line. Typically, they don't do shit. They're just there for the paycheck. I had one motherfucker who was done with getting free food and money and she stole tons of cutleries from the tray and left the restaurant mid-shift and never came back. I don't know what she's gonna do with all the spoons and forks and knives and chopsticks, but I sure know she will still eat a damn nasi kandar with her bare hands. I know 5 fat people and she's 3 of them. I could never get past that piece of brick wall while holding a heavy ass plate until she finally moved her way in 3 business days. I'm calling your names, Aida. I hope it rains when you dry your clothes. Let's list out the overall pros and cons of working as a waiter. Pros: free food and drinks. Welfare from the manager considering if he's chill with you. Improved communication skill if your co-workers are not mute. And that's that. Cons: weak paycheck, high stress due to harsh environment and rude customers, sanity sacrification. Your legs are gonna cramp cause you will be walking and standing all day. Heavy lifting, overwork due to constant understaff and lazy co-workers, exploited by your manager if he doesn't like you. You will reconsider your entire life decisions during peak hours like lunchtime. Now you have seen the entire picture of advantages and disadvantages of working as a waiter. Do you still think it's a good choice? Fuck no! Leave! That's why it's always understaffed cause no one wants to suffer and not have optimal benefit. I don't even know why would anyone pick this job. Oh, 10k. That's the number of thoughts I have about smashing every glass and window I see when walking next to them. Let's be real here. 10k subs in just 2 months is actually insanely fast. I want to sincerely thank everyone for supporting a degenerate lalazai who only yaps on the internet. Couldn't have done it without any of you guys. Blanket review on 50k subs. Bye bye.
You a poopy bench, you a poopy bench. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Can you let me do my dance? I said, you a poopy bench, you a poopy